What's going on, guys? CGG back here with the title. Today we are talking about one player from every remaining playoff team that has impressed me in these playoffs. We're going to get right into it. Like, subscribe. If you're new, comment down below. Tell me a player from your team, if you're still in the playoffs, who has impressed you so far in this run. We're going to start it off with the Denver Nuggets, and the player that has impressed me most on the Denver Nuggets is a man by the name of Aaron Gordon. Now, don't get me wrong. This could have been Russell Westbrook. That was the other option I had in mind, but I chose Aaron Gordon instead. Why? Because think about it. Aaron Gordon has a couple of clutch moments already. You think about the tip dunk versus the Clippers, and then you also think about his game-winning three that he just hit earlier this week against Oklahoma City. He's always been a very crucial player to what the Nuggets want to do. He's a bully down low. He guards bigs as well as some wings really well. He's impressive defensively. He's always been very important to the Denver Nuggets. But what he's done this playoff run has really just kind of been more impressive than the other one, in my opinion. By the other one, I mean when they won a championship. Of course, he's always amazing defensively, but like you think about the three-point shot to win it against Oklahoma City in Game 1, but he also sunk the 2 free throws prior to that. And that opens up, that gives them the lane to hit the game winner. Of course, Chet missing 2 free throws definitely doesn't really help, but if he doesn't sink those 2 free throws, there is no lane for a game winner at all anymore. You got to think about Aaron Gordon's career path as well, kind of like I have. I know a lot of people don't really want to hear that, but Aaron Gordon was a low 60% free throw shooter for a good bulk of his career, and he was a sub-below average three-point shooter for a majority of his career. What he's done this season is he's become more technically skilled, I guess, if you want to say that. He's become a 40% three-point shooter, a reliable three-point threat, and while still being a low-post bully on guards, he still has the ability to make his free throws. He's over 80% on that right now. He's become a more technical basketball player beyond his ability to just put a guard in the basket and then dunk on them. Currently in these playoffs, he's averaging 18.2 points per game with 6.5 rebounds, 4 offensive rebounds per game. 4 of his 6.5 rebounds are offensive per game. And think about 6.5 rebounds. He's also playing with one of the league's better rebounders in Nikola Jokic. He's playing with Russell Westbrook, who's a great rebounder. And he's playing with Michael Porter Jr., who is dealing with the shoulder, obviously, but he's a good rebounder as well. So 6.5 rebounds ain't a bad number for him. Shooting splits-wise, he's shooting about 48.5% from the field, 36 from 3, and almost 90% from the line at 89.5%. That's reliability from the line, and that's something he hasn't really had in his career, being a 60% three-point shooter. It's a complete difference maker for your team when you're able and you have the ability to step to the line and make free throws in crunch time, and they don't have to pull you. In the 2023 championship run, Aaron Gordon had 3 games of 20 or more points. In these playoffs, he's already had 4 games of 20 or more points in a few less games already. So Aaron Gordon's already outpaced his scoring from their last championship run, and he's become more reliable offensively. Aaron Gordon just checks so many boxes for me as a basketball player. I just enjoy watching him play. With Michael Porter being hurt, Nikola Jokic being Nikola Jokic, and Jamal Murray being kind of in and out like he always has been, they've needed a guy to step up. Aaron Gordon stepped up time and time again for the Denver Nuggets this season. He's a much-needed consistent on a team with, well, with all due respect to Jokic, a bunch of up-and-down type of players outside of Nikola Jokic. Even though the game I'm watching right now, Game 3, he's been terrible. At halftime right now, he's been awful. Still got another half. It's Jokic. But Aaron Gordon's been good. I'm pretty sure he strung up a 3 in this half, so there you go. On to the next one. Next team we're going to talk about, Indiana Pacers. It's known playoff riser Andrew Nembhard. Listen to these career regular season averages. 9.6 points, about 5 assists, 46, 33.5, 79.5 splits. That's respectable. About a 10 point per game score to boot with 5 assists and a couple of rebounds in there as well. Very respectable play from Andrew Nembhard. Career playoff averages. Listen to this one. 15.2 points, 6 assists on 54, 49, 80 splits. Almost a 50% shooter in the playoffs in his career. In these playoffs alone, Nembhard's up to 16 points per game with 6 assists on 50, 50, 86 splits. including being an average of a plus 9.4 plus minus. Again, at the time of recording, he did not have a very good game. He was actually quite bad in Game 3 of this Indiana versus Cleveland series. However, plenty of time to adjust. The series is kind of just starting with the Cavs getting healthy, so we'll see how that plays out. But even in his worst games, Nembhard still finds a way to contribute and be a plus for the Indiana Pacers. Game 2 versus Cleveland, Andrew Nembhard had 8 turnovers. 8. Still found a way to be a positive player on the court. He hit an and one over Max Strus to cut the lead to, I believe, 5. Then later in the same game, he got the steal on the inbound from Max Strus. Then he also had a nice pass to Pascal Siakam that led to a nice layup for Pascal. So within, I think, the last minute of the game, he stole the inbound and passed, got the assist for the 2 points that kind of kept them in the game. And then it obviously leads to the Haliburton game winner. But Haliburton never gets those free throw opportunities if Andrew Nembhard doesn't steal the inbound from Max Strus. If that ball gets caught, who knows where this series is. Nembhard's ability to just become a better player in the playoffs is kind of spooky. There's a reason Celtics fans like myself talk about him like he is the Grim Reaper. I don't know what gets into him come playoff time, but he is definitely one of the more fun playoff risers in basketball because it's just so random. People always talk about like Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell. Those guys are playoff risers. But in the regular season, they're all-star caliber talents. Jamal Murray's more of a fringe guy, you know what I mean. But Andrew Nembhard was not an all-star caliber guy in the regular season. He never really has been in his 3-year NBA career. But in the playoffs, he's a playoff all-star. That's all I can say. He's a playoff all-NBA player, for Christ's sake. He's averaging over a steal a game as well in the playoffs in his career. Insane stuff in the playoffs from Andrew Nembhard. At number 3, talk about the New York Knicks. It's Mitchell Robinson. This one's a tad more random, but if you've been watching the Knicks in these playoff games, you know how good Mitchell Robinson's been and how important he's been to what they want to do. Let's be honest, despite the Knicks winning 2 of the first 2 games against the Boston Celtics, in their whole playoff run so far, they have not looked like an offensive powerhouse. Jalen Brunson is a one-man army. We know that. But overall, their offense is not going to blow you out of the water. They are not a team that's really going to hang a 130 spot on you. They're not a potent offense. They're a slow-it-down type of team. When you don't have an explosive offense like that, what do you need? You need a guy who can buy you second chance opportunities because you can't just survive on one shot every game. It doesn't always work like that. If you shoot bad and you only get one shot, you're going to lose the game. And Mitchell Robinson is just what they needed. He's one of the better per-rate rebounders in the league right now, I believe. He gets the Knicks many more much-needed second chance opportunities and more shots. Because one shot with this Knicks team, if you can hold this Knicks team to one shot, you have a chance to win the game. But if Mitchell Robinson's hounding you on the glass, you don't have much chance. He's averaging 3 offensive rebounds per game in these playoffs. Towns is their starting center. Robinson's also much needed on the defensive end as well. As much as we love Karl Anthony Towns around here and how clutch he's been, that's an underrated stat, how good he's shooting in clutch situations, talking about Cat still, Mitchell Robinson's still very much needed because teams put a lot of rim pressure on Karl Anthony Towns. People don't put a lot of rim pressure on Mitchell Robinson. Really big, really not athletic, just he's got a lot of length, pause, but he's really big, also pause, but he has long arms and he's able to deter shots at the rim. As a matter of fact, Mitchell Robinson has been so important for the New York Knicks that he has Joe Mazzulla literally saying that they just can't beat or outwork Mitchell Robinson in this series. They have to foul him to get him off the court because if he's on the court, they have nobody to contain him. That is the first time, I think, in Mitchell Robinson's NBA lifespan, since high school maybe, that someone said we cannot contain Mitchell Robinson. In a 2-game sample versus Boston so far, the total margin of victory for the Knicks is 4 points. They won game 1 by 3. They won game 2 by 1, right? Mitchell Robinson's a plus 32. A plus 32. He has forced the Celtics basically into bending the knee and having to foul him to get him off the court, which ends up still working in the Knicks' favor. Because guess what? You get into the bonus a lot quicker when you're intentionally fouling. Although, yes, he is missing the hell out of those free throws. He's shooting sub 30% at the line. That's a ridiculously bad number. However, I just watched Jalen Williams baptize Aaron Gordon in live. Oh my goodness. That was gross. All right, back to the video. But it works so well for Mitchell Robinson because when he gets the Celtics into the bonus quicker, that makes Jalen Brunson 10 times harder to guard because you know he's going to be jumping around looking for the foul just to get to the free throw line. And when you're in the bonus, the softest of contact can get you to the free throw line. So Mitchell Robinson essentially forces the Celtics into beating themselves. It's a shame he can't make a free throw, because if he was anything better than 30% at the line in these playoffs, he'd be damn near a 30-minute per game type of guy. They could even run that double big lineup for more than just spurts of time. He could close the game if he could shoot better than 20% at the line. Like, he is historically bad at making free throws. But man, is he impactful when it comes to his rebounding, his rim presence. He's impressive at certain aspects, but the technical aspects of basketball, like shooting form, I mean, he shoots free throws like Aaron Judge hits baseballs. There are 115 straight line drives right at the rim. Big guy just needs to work on his form. Lock in, bro. Lock in the gym. I don't know what he needs to do better. Some players, especially big men, just can't make free throws. That's just how it is. But Mitchell Robinson does a lot of things well in this Knicks team. I don't want to talk about him anymore, though, because it hurts my chest, because obviously Celtics fan. Next up, we're bouncing to Minnesota. We're talking about a guy who used to play with Mitchell Robinson. It's Julius Randle, an upcoming free agent who I pray stays in Minnesota. Julius Randle's always been an All-NBA type of guy. He literally has made the All-NBA teams before because of how good he has been. But there's always been concerns to go with the All-NBA talent. Turnover prone, bad body language, bunch of injuries, inefficiency struggles. They've killed his public image. Man, he is such a good player, but obviously you struggle in the playoffs. You turn the ball over the amount that he does. Fans start to, well, lob some hate your way. Not to say he hasn't deserved it in his career, shooting the thumbs down to the Knicks fans. He's done a lot of things in the past, especially body language-wise, where it's just Julius Randle needs to get out of his own head, and it looks like he might have actually learned that in Minnesota. I was very concerned going into the Wolves playoff run simply because of, well, Julius Randle has a lot of it. He's had his playoff struggles in the past before. I'm going to be honest, not even struggles. He's been outright bad in playoffs past. It had me concerned. I didn't pick them to go this far at all. I picked them to lose round 1 to LA. I'll come right out and tell you, Timberwolves fans. But Julius Randle has been so good that he has kind of almost helped power them to the semifinals. Obviously, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, but Julius Randle has been a consistent force for them. In Julius Randle's first 15 career playoff games, obviously all with the Knicks in New York, he averaged 17 points per game with 9.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and over 4 turnovers per game. 3.5 assists and 4 turnovers. All right, stop right there. That's really bad. But you're going to want to hear the shooting splits too. 34, 28, 75. 34 from the field, 28 from 3, 75 from the line. Hideous shooting numbers in Julius Randle's first 15 playoff games. In these playoffs, of course, it's only, 7 games now. He's averaging 22 points, 5 rebounds, over 5 assists per game, only 2.5 turnovers, and his shooting splits are at 49, 34, 89. Much better, much cleaner. Of course, he's not the one option now. He's not the main guy like he was in New York, but he's still needed. They still depend on him, and he's come through. And that turnover number you might think is a little bit too high at 2.5 per game. If you erase his disastrous 7 turnover game 1 against the Lakers, you'll see he's only averaging 1.8 per game since. And this is coming the day after game 2 of the Minnesota vs. Golden State series, where Julius Randle just played bully ball all game with the Golden State Warriors. Every shot make he had, except for I believe 1-3, was on a paint touch. Every time he touched the ball, he got 2 feet in the lane, and it was either a fadeaway or a layup. He was telling guys all night, you are not big enough to guard me. You are not big enough to guard me. You are not big enough to guard me, and you are not big enough to guard me. Also, he didn't have a turnover in the first half of last night's game. Again, this is a guy who, coming into these playoffs, my biggest concern, and a lot of people's biggest concern, fairly enough, was his turnover proneness. Is that a fucking word? I don't know. In that game, I believe he made history as like the only Timberwolf in their history to put up over 20 points, 10 rebounds and 10 assists or something like that. He was in the same breath as Kevin Garnett. I saw that stat that same night. I don't remember it very well, but he put himself in the same breath as Kevin Garnett with that game. Automatically, you're in good company there. 11 assists. He played big on the boards, a ton of rebounds, played big down low. He was simply masterful, and I haven't even talked about his defense. Round 1, obviously. If you watched round 1, He played excellent defense against both Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Already, that's pretty impressive. He did a really good job against both of them. Now you move into round 2. Obviously, the Warriors haven't really had Curry, but he has been able to keep a body on Jimmy Butler when it has happened, when he has gotten switched onto him. And Draymond Green, he's had to run around and deal with those screens and stuff like that. Obviously, the defensive assignment for him in Golden State is much different because they don't have the big guards and the wings like the Lakers did in terms of LeBron and Luka. But he has done a really good job on Jimmy when he's gotten put onto him. Let's move on. We can talk about the team that I am currently watching right on my screen. It is the Oklahoma City Thunder. And there's not many guys on the Thunder that have genuinely impressed me in this playoff run. It's no offense to them. They've looked really, really good. It's just there's so many typical, like, Shea's going to give you 25 plus per night. And it's hard to pick somebody that stands out that's not like Shea or J-Dub or Chet. You know, those guys, that's their big three. And then iHeart down there as well. It's kind of the Thunder a hard team to get a guy from that has surprised you because they've been so good all season. I guess I'm going to pick Aaron Wiggins. You look at the box scores and you're like, what? Aaron Wiggins? However, when he has been given a longer leash by Coach Mark Daigneault, he's usually pretty good. He shined in his role. He gives the Thunder additional length off the bench. He's a lengthy wing. He's got some size to him. He hits his open threes. He plays good defense. He gets out in transition well. He blocks shots. He's a really good rebounder for his size, too. When he subs into the game, he helps clean that glass. It's into their turnover-forcing defense where they get into passing lanes. They jump your passing lanes. They block your shots. I mean, the Thunder's defense is so great. Aaron Wiggins oftentimes doesn't stand out to a lot of people probably watching at home. The only reason he really stands out to me is because for a while I thought he was like smaller. I thought he was more of a guard type. But like the more I'm like, no, that's a wing. I don't know. I guess I just thought he was smaller than he was. I debated on putting Chet in here, but it's so tough because you think about it. Chet was a top 3 pick. You know, he's been good all season, and you know what you're going to get out of him. Really good rim deterrence, averaging like 3 blocks a game in these playoffs. Chet's been great, but he hasn't really surprised me. Aaron Wiggins, in the PT that he has gotten, has played well enough for me to notice Aaron Wiggins' minutes. Not a very long segment on the Thunder. No offense, Thunder fans. Your team's just very dominant, and your top 3 guys are the only people that really score the ball. Like, if somebody not named Shea, J-Dub, or Chet has a 20-point game for the Thunder, I look a little bit crooked at the box score. This one a little bit short and sweet, too. The Warriors player that I have written down for the impressive player has just got to be Buddy Hield. He's their 3rd leading scorer in the playoffs. 3rd leading scorer. Not Brandon Pajemski, not Jonathan Kuminga, not Moses Moody, not GP2, not Quentin Post. It's Buddy Hield. And, yeah, you might expect that, honestly. Him being the 3rd leading scorer definitely popped out at me, though, to be honest with you. I mean, currently he's averaging about 13 points per game. 3 rebounds. He's averaging 1.5 offensive rebounds per game. That kind of stands out to me as well. But most importantly, 46% from 3 on over 6 attempts. Over 6.5 attempts, actually. I'll be generous to him. 46% is insane. Of course, Game 7, Buddy, he stepped in. He saved Curry's legacy. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that type of talk around here. But Buddy Hield did have a really good Game 7. And he had a really good Game 1 as well. Against Minnesota. Just hit a brain fog right there for some reason. Buddy Hield has impressed me, kinda. I don't know. He's just kind of done what he's supposed to do. Buddy Hield is a designated shooter. Come around off screens, shoot that damn ball. Jimmy Butler said it best. We don't like when Buddy Hield dribbles. Nobody likes it when you got Buddy putting the ball on the deck. Stop it. Get the ball out of his hands when he starts dribbling. He gets 1 dribble. If he dribbles twice, Draymond better go steal the ball from him. Buddy Hield, though, has had a really good playoffs. I just like cracking jokes about him. He's averaging over a steal a game in the playoffs as well, if you really care that much. Buddy Hield has had a decent playoff run so far. And, to boot, he's only getting paid $9 million for, the next 4 years in Golden State. He's on a pretty cheap contract. That's close to what Peyton Pritchard's getting. But he's averaging, $9 mil per season with them. He just was a Game 7 hero with them. He's looking to be their savior because it's only Jimmy, him, and Draymond right now. Brandon Pajemski, no offense, Warriors fan, Brandon Pajemski has blown away my expectations in a bad way. I don't even know if I could say it around here. I was going to say blombed his expectations for me, but hand up if you knew Buddy Hield's full name is Shavano Rainer Hield. My hand did not go up. Schiavano is a tough name, though. I cannot lie. He did hit 4 threes in Game 2 versus Minnesota, but let's be honest. That game was an absolute wash. It did not matter. Let's see what they do at home now. But Buddy Hield has had a very impressive playoff run, despite a couple of games with just bagels. But the Warriors are a deep team, and when Buddy Hield's bad, they don't have to run him 30 minutes. They don't even have to run him 20. In a game where he logged 0 points, 0 field goals made, and 4 personal fouls, played 17 minutes. The other game, he had 4 points, he played 18 minutes. They don't need him to be a consistent 25-minute per game guy, which is what other teams in the past have had. You lower your expectations for Buddy, you get more. I don't know, maybe that's the Buddy Hield thing. And if you check the video length, you're probably wondering to yourself, Pat, you haven't mentioned a Celtic in this video. You're damn right I haven't. Nobody's impressed me on the Celtics. Nobody deserves praise on this Celtics team. They've looked embarrassingly bad. If they lose Game 3, you will get an all-time rant video. So that is my incentive for you to like, subscribe, stay here, because you might get a really unhinged rant video if they go down 3-0. Yeah, that'd be fun. All right, well, if you enjoyed this video, like I said, like, subscribe, comment down below, tell me some players from your favorite team that have impressed you or just left an imprint on you in these playoffs. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to catch the game. I'll see you guys in the next one.